Welcome back, Scorpio. I'm Selena. I'm honored to guide you through today's cosmic forecast. Today is May 7th, 2025, and the energies surrounding you are entering a crucial phase. What's unfolding now isn't random. It's the result of long cycles reaching their turning point. The universe is presenting you with an opening, one that will require focus, resilience, and a willingness to trust the unseen. In today's reading, we'll take a grounded look at how these influences are shaping your financial path, your personal relationships, your professional growth, and your overall well-being. I'll also share your lucky numbers, your astrological compatibilities, and the color that can help you align more clearly with today's energy. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and stay connected so you don't miss the daily guidance that can help you navigate these shifts with greater clarity. Now, Scorpio, let's step into the deeper currents guiding your path today. Today, Scorpio, the astrological climate urges you to move with deliberate care rather than impulsive reaction. The moon enters your fellow water sign Pisces, forming supportive aspects to Mars and Neptune. This creates a heightened emotional sensitivity and a subtle but undeniable undercurrent of intuitive strength. You may find that logic alone is not enough to navigate what unfolds today. Your instincts will play a critical role. Trust them, but temper your emotional responses with reflection. Reactionary moves could create more confusion than clarity. Venus and Jupiter align harmoniously in Taurus, your opposite sign, bringing emphasis to your partnerships, not just romantic, but also professional and familial. This is a favorable time for building bridges, strengthening alliances, and finding common ground, even where past disagreements have lingered. The energy encourages generosity, patience, and a willingness to meet others halfway. However, it also demands discernment. Not every offer of reconciliation will be worthy of your energy. It is important to distinguish between genuine growth and superficial gestures. Meanwhile, Mercury, still moving slowly as it recovers from its retrograde phase, cautions against rushing into binding agreements or making irrevocable decisions without full information. Communication may still carry undertones of misunderstanding, so take your time to clarify intentions, both yours and others. In financial matters, the influence of Saturn and Pisces suggests the need for cautious, long-term planning rather than short-term risks. Investments of time, effort, or money made now will require patience but can yield sustainable rewards if handled wisely. Pluto's steady presence in Aquarius continues to reshape your perspective on personal autonomy versus collective responsibility. This slow-moving influence reminds you that true empowerment does not come from isolating yourself or resisting all change, but from learning how to evolve alongside larger societal shifts. Today, a choice may present itself that challenges your sense of independence. Rather than reacting defensively, consider where collaboration might actually strengthen your position rather than weaken it. Overall, Scorpio, today is not about dramatic action. It is about subtle but critical adjustments. Internal shifts that set the stage for much larger external transformations later. Patience, clarity, emotional intelligence, and strategic vision are your greatest allies now. The universe is not testing your strength, it is refining it. Move thoughtfully, and you will find that the currents are working in your favor, even if their influence feels invisible at first glance. In the financial and professional sphere, Scorpio, today's astrology advises a cautious but proactive approach. With Saturn continuing its transit through Pisces, long-term financial responsibilities are under focus, asking you to reevaluate not just your income streams, but also the sustainability of your professional choices. If you have been considering restructuring your budget, seeking new revenue channels, or investing in skills that will serve you long-term, today offers a steady, supportive background for making those plans concrete. However, any temptation to rush into quick financial gains, speculative investments, or partnerships based solely on promises without clear structure should be firmly resisted. Saturn demands realism, and ignoring that lesson would only lead to frustrations later. Mars, currently moving through Aries, brings urgency and a desire for action, particularly in areas related to work and reputation. You may feel a strong inner drive to push forward, assert your goals, and make visible progress. This energy can be highly beneficial if channeled correctly, setting clear objectives, outlining action plans and taking decisive steps toward your ambition. Yet, it is equally important to recognize that Mars, without the grounding influence of patience, can lead to impulsivity and unnecessary conflict. Today, balance is key. Act, but act strategically. Move, but move with awareness of the long game rather than chasing immediate rewards. The Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus also brings notable blessings to your professional relationships. Opportunities may come through connections, a mentor offering advice, a colleague suggesting a collaboration, or even a client bringing new possibilities to your attention. Networking, when approached with sincerity and generosity, can open doors you had not anticipated. Financially, small expansions are possible now, but they favor steady, organic growth rather than rapid leaps. If you are willing to build carefully, brick by brick, the rewards that begin manifesting now could support you well into the future. Overall, Scorpio, today's financial and career guidance is clear. Stay focused on the structures you are building, not just the short-term outcomes. Your ambition is a strength, but it must be anchored in strategy, patience, and a willingness to adjust when necessary. You are not merely working for today, you are laying the foundations for the kind of security and fulfillment that will endure for years to come. In matters of the heart, Scorpio, today's sky offers a subtle but deeply fertile ground for emotional growth and reconnection. The moon's passage through Pisces, harmonizing with Neptune, softens emotional barriers and brings a spirit of compassion, forgiveness, and intuitive understanding into your interactions. If there have been misunderstandings, emotional distance, or unspoken wounds in a current relationship, this is a day when true healing can begin. Not through grand gestures, but through quiet presence, deep listening, and a willingness to be seen without defenses. Emotional honesty carries a rare potency today. When you speak from your core, your words have the power to rebuild bridges that once seemed irreparably broken. For those who are single, the alignment between Venus and Jupiter in Taurus highlights the potential for new romantic encounters that are not only passionate, but also grounded in shared values. There is an earthy, stabilizing energy available now, suggesting that new connections formed around this time are likely to have substance rather than fleeting excitement. However, Venus and Jupiter also caution against idealizing others too quickly. Take the time to truly know the person standing before you. Real love grows stronger with patience and clear-sightedness, not illusions. Existing relationships may feel a renewed sense of hope and possibility under today's transits, particularly if both partners are willing to meet each other with fresh eyes. It is an excellent day for small but meaningful gestures, a sincere conversation, a supportive act, a reminder of shared dreams. Physical affection and quality time together will hold more weight now than elaborate plans or promises. The emotional climate supports depth over drama, truth over performance. At the same time, Mercury's slow recovery from its retrograde phase serves as a quiet reminder: clarity still takes effort. Misunderstandings are less likely today than during the height of the retrograde, but they are not entirely absent. When in doubt, choose to clarify rather than assume. Ask questions, seek understanding, and be willing to listen without immediately reacting. In love, as in all other areas today, Scorpio, the universe rewards patience, sincerity, and emotional maturity. Ultimately, today's astrology suggests that love, whether emerging or ongoing, is best nurtured through presence, kindness, and shared vision. You are not being called to rush or force connections. You are being invited to deepen them, to allow them to grow at their natural pace. Trust the emotional insights you receive today, for they are leading you not only toward deeper connection with others, but toward a fuller, more peaceful connection with yourself. Scorpio, today's astrological climate places a quiet but significant emphasis on your inner rhythms, both physical and emotional. With the moon in Pisces forming supportive aspects to Neptune and Mars, you are particularly sensitive to the subtle signals your body and spirit are sending. Ignoring them would be a mistake. Today, preventive care and self-awareness are your strongest allies. If you have been pushing yourself beyond reasonable limits, whether mentally, emotionally, or physically, today's energy encourages recalibration. Rest is not a sign of weakness now. It is a wise investment in your future resilience. Emotionally, the moon's placement makes you more permeable to the moods and energies of others. While this can deepen empathy and understanding, it can also lead to emotional exhaustion if you do not maintain healthy boundaries. Be selective about where and with whom you spend your time today. Seek out environments that nourish rather than deplete you. Quiet spaces, spiritual practices, or simply time alone to reflect can help you reset and protect your energy field from unnecessary entanglements. Physically, the slow recovery of Mercury after its retrograde suggests that the body's systems may still be slightly sluggish. If you have been dealing with minor health issues, particularly related to digestion, sleep, or nervous system balance, take extra care today. Gentle routines, stretching, mindful movement, hydration, and grounding foods will support your body's natural healing processes far more effectively than aggressive intervention. There is no need to overhaul everything at once. Small, consistent acts of care will have a far greater impact than dramatic efforts that are unsustainable. Psychologically, Pluto's steady movement through Aquarius continues to ask for deeper integration of your mental and emotional landscapes. You are being challenged to move beyond old fears, outdated coping mechanisms, and unconscious self-sabotage patterns. Today, introspection can yield powerful insights if you are willing to sit quietly with yourself and listen without judgment. Meditation, journaling, or even simply taking a long walk without distraction can open new pathways of understanding between your mind, your heart, and your body. Overall, Scorpio, today is not a day to push your limits, but to honor them. Health is not simply the absence of illness. It is the presence of harmony within your being. Nurture that harmony through mindful care, compassionate self-reflection, and a willingness to prioritize your well-being without guilt or hesitation. The stronger your foundation of health becomes now, the more powerfully you will be able to move into the larger transformations the universe is preparing for you. When it comes to your close connections outside of romance, Scorpio, today's transits highlight a need for gentle realignment rather than confrontation. With the moon in Pisces encouraging emotional openness and Venus harmonizing with Jupiter, there is an opportunity for healing within family dynamics and friendships, but only if you are willing to lead with understanding rather than old resentments. If certain relationships have been strained, today offers a softer, more compassionate atmosphere where conversations can unfold with less defensiveness and more willingness to truly listen. At the same time, Mercury's lingering post-retrograde shadows caution you to be mindful of how you interpret others' words. It would be easy to misread tone or intention if you approach conversations carrying past grievances. Rather than assuming the worst, make space for clarification. Ask questions before drawing conclusions. Sometimes the narratives we have built around others are more rigid than reality itself. The day invites you to be curious rather than judgmental, and in doing so, to allow healing where once there was only distance. This is not necessarily the day for grand reconciliations or dramatic family gatherings. Rather, it is a day where small acts of kindness, a call, a thoughtful message, a quiet offer of support can create ripples of trust that deepen over time. If old wounds surface, view them not as failures, but as invitations to understand yourself and your loved ones more deeply. Forgiveness, whether extended outwardly or silently held within, is one of today's most powerful healing tools. Friendships too, reveal subtle shifts. You may notice which connections feel nurturing and which feel draining. Honor these realizations without guilt. Not every friendship is meant to last a lifetime, and not every distance is a betrayal. Sometimes giving space is the most loving act available. Trust your instincts today, Scorpio, but lead with compassion, both for yourself and for others walking their own imperfect paths. Scorpio, today is not about sudden victories or dramatic endings. It is a day of subtle but irreversible shifts. A day when the invisible currents beneath your life are steering you gently but decisively toward a new chapter. You are asked to trust this process, even when it feels slower than your mind desires or more vulnerable than your heart feels ready for. True growth now is measured not in external achievements, but in the depth of your patience, the steadiness of your trust, and the quiet courage with which you allow life to unfold on its own terms. Every choice you make today, whether in love, work, health, or family, is a stitch in a much larger tapestry. Some patterns you cannot see yet, some blessings you have not yet fully earned. But if you continue to walk with integrity, mindfulness, and emotional intelligence, the rewards that await you will not be temporary victories. They will be lasting foundations. The universe is not asking you to force the future into being. It is asking you to prepare for it with steady hands, with a clear mind, and with a heart that dares to remain open even when fear tempts you to close it. You are exactly where you need to be, Scorpio. You are not falling behind. You are not lost. You are arriving one steady, intentional step at a time into the life that was always meant for you.